Hello, my friends. Still kicking. It's a little bit of a pain in the back right here. A little bit of pinched nerve from a previous caregiver job. She wasn't that bad. Who said that somebody else took full. I've never been very much of a psycho or psychosis person, even after all the abuse after Disneyland. I have the. I don't have the patience. I have the, what do you call it, cowardice after connecting the dots all white to globals. But then again, when my colleagues and ex-colleagues and others who knew that original goes through my face, constantly connecting the dots all white to globals on my crawlies and literal crawlies, well, bad enough. Was constantly asking about the parents, So with me, it's more like, okay, we lost that big shit, and many of us were with you, so, yeah. They always speak about this romantic bridges shot up around the capital cities, and I try to keep telling them that it's all news on the news, so, do us a favor, US, cut it out. Don't be backward, because, there are people who want to help me, yes, even in the US, and Intel knows what it is, and many of them fell with her on the coastlines. Why? Because she was the proverbial mermaid, and the fact that for you intelligence is in a microchip or in a PhD or, a Nobel Prize, that shit's empty because the person had her head smashed in on the coastlines. Me. That's why I have these big, thick glasses and I look like, too busy flying and running, I guess. Now we have Disneyland crawlies and metro crawlies. But so, what is so you bring back Disneyland, and you're happy about that shit, and you speak about big heads around the capital cities and the metros and white heads. What am I going to do about that? Seriously? My ass is so far out. Stolo de Varis, but now okay. And they said, look, from all technical standpoints, if you smash somebody's head on the coastlines, you can bring back pink. Don't explain the blues. I'm not going to explain the blues. And plus, you should never have been made into pink and blues. That shit's empty because you're dead. I know. Thanks. So, Scott Glentham and Radio Globo are there for my own. And for the parents. Because, I don't sound like, quite frankly. But, you have the hanging benches of Lark Winters and Nelly Direct defending them. So Fresno intelligence, the height of the Hollywood Bowl of Venice Avenue in Fresno. The tits and ass, the girlfriends in the nursing homes. You can do all the flyings. You can do all the runnings on the planet. But, I ended up doing the crawlies and lateral crawlies. And I don't think that this phoenix coming out of the coastlines is a positive spin to Intel. Now, you can say, well, one doesn't make a difference. But if there was a ship to yacht, the corporation, that's when you notice shit. Yeah, when there's a proverbial void in Bakula, literally. Come and go. Hello to the one. Maybe they just say you're not a Delph. Hypocrites. And that's the least you can hear from me. Because between Dirk and Van Damme, The Hague, the Bureau de Veritas, now we even have the Italian tribunal for these cheerleading psycho stalkers, basically. And it's unusual for someone like me because they're looking at it and they're just saying, this is Schadenfreude Jr. I can't have that many Dr. Barretts up my ass growing up around the capital cities. That's the extras. That's not even connected those four whites to globals, and you're talking about the Barretts. Do me a favor. Born in pioneer camps beyond the capital cities, Northern, vicious Russia. D1s. A D1 is below the Director General, you motherfuckers. Look at work. Look at jobs. You don't understand even the definition of work. I look at you in Fresno and I'm thinking to myself, US, the fuck? You didn't have to bring back Disneyland to point that out, but now, this is as bad as it gets. Hold on, crab to crab. Hey, my God! And you swing to me, I got a PhD. Okay, then reopen that shit on the coastlines. Genyatsa. Shit. Can't see that shit coming from China. You're backward. I don't buy it. Nobody buys it. On the planet. And now you're going to come back to me and say to me, I don't like hearing what I hear. Oh, I'm a patriot. You're not a fucking patriot. Oh, miss, I'm perfect. You're perfect. Yani, then they start with religion, they'll start with race, and then we'll start with ethnicities, and then we'll start with you have to be Jewish, you have to be pro-Mossad. I'm not looking at these people, I'm not thinking they're fucking retards. So at this point, Disneyland is out. I ain't gonna bother anymore with the stress. And then I have this rosy face, right? Because I'm supposed to just break down crying like all your pussies after my head was smashed in on the bus lines. And I'm Disneyland. You want to do it again? I'll make you pay for that too. You little fun Schadenfreude Jr. Backward country. Ain't gonna change the coastlines. I can tell you that. The coastlines is the coastlines. And that's old news on the news. So if you had the Jinyatsu saying that shit coming from the China on the coastlines. And this thing about not being pro-Mossad, I think you've sort of, you've pushed every mentally retarded button together with the cheerleading assholes that hate Disneyland. There's others who want to help, I'm not saying, but, it seems like a street fight almost. And I'm like thinking about this shit, walking through all this shit, thinking about the parents. Oh, come on, and then you say, have the patience of all. Listen, so if I'm going to start doing the Tasmanian devil motherfucking shit around the capital city, bringing the exorcist, oh, come on. So, I'm really sorry if I offended your sensibilities and you don't know the basics by now. But you're not the best in sciences. I'm really sorry. Between China and Russia and the others, when you had it, oh good. Eventually what happened? Come on. That's the old news on the news and you still have pretenses. Come on, PhDs, come on. You know what this shit is. Oh, it was in a microchip. It's more like in a microchip now. And it ain't worth it because smashed in head and the other. That's old. You know how old that shit is? You're looking at the Indios, and he's still fucking saying, I'll kill that bitch. I'm a patriot. It's okay. I don't give a shit about the Italian Roman Tribunal and everyone else, and Dr. Barra says, dear Kim Van Damme, this, that. It's lost. If there's something there, some relic, after smashed in head, because miraculously the ship, the yacht, the fault, the mermaid, the whole shit could see it coming from fucking China, the corporations, this, you know what, we can make some negatives. That's genetics, that's a different person. I ain't living in the house. It's far away from my sorry ass. I'm pink. I live in the house. Oh, Marona. They say the trained poodle in the house. That shit's gone nuts. And then they say to me, every capital city is it? Listen, I've done how many crawlies and little crawlies in this format? I'll be sending out, the crawlies, you still had this. Then you had the cycles. Come on. The little knives. Oh, man. Then you wonder why they get Waterboard to go back to prison in San Quentin. And the others are still saying, every fucking motherfucking Dr. Paris on the planet sitting down and saying, you know what? Shit, we're going to slap it to them with the Italian tribunal. And that's the extra. Come on. Speak about backward country. And the cheerleaders are laughing. Go ahead. But it won't reopen the coastlines after the smashed in head of that girl. This is your problem. It's not a question of the brother of the mother who was head of sciences at Warsaw University saying that Polish Shintel is pink. The cousin of the father doing sciences in Cairo saying, he's just saying you have to go to Saudi Arabia or you have to go to Russia. No, grays and blacks, that's old. That's like rehashing a person from the coastlines, sticking her in as a prop in the intel communities and saying, well, there's some fucked up proverbial void missing in society because some sciences is missing. Okay. Is it in a microchip? Is it in a PhD? No. It wasn't a girl. La Sapienza was empty ever since. An entire freaking building. Space, stack, and economy. And sciences. So, some cancers. I guess that was the easy part. And you're still going to be sitting there and talking to me about terrorists. Come on, US. Still have pretenses for that shit. And that's not even mentioning the barons of race. The buying accounts beyond the capital city. Yes, it's Naros. Their countries. Pioneer champions, a young age. Dark, beautiful. D1s. Jobs. Work. On helicopters dropping 8. Come on. And they say, okay, you know what? We're going to stay in Rome for retirement. Nice Mediterranean. Quite frankly, I don't blame them. And I'm not even suicidal, trust me, by now. I'm just looking at this shit around the capital cities and thinking to myself, it's a fucking problem with you. That's a little problem. I'll get that bitch. Okay, you go ahead. Not do a waste of time. You the one, and I'm a patriot. You patriot? You don't know what a fucking patriot is. You have to shove it up your ass sideways with the, I'm not gonna say it. You wouldn't know what a fucking, use your fucking brain. Common sense. Patriot is. Who's gaining? Who's losing? Who lost? Who's losing? And who the fuck is Fresno for the Barons? Is it that obvious that Disneyland has to come out and then I even have to kiss your ass? I actually have to sit there and say, yes, you are the best. You're so intelligent. You know, that shit's something because I'm dead. And I'm some proper genetic particular pink ass. Oh, there's blues. And how did that happen after you smashed the girl's head on those lines? Tell me. Because pink is pink, trained pool in the house. How do you do the blues? Because technically for intelligence, if you smash somebody's head in on the ghost nights. Phoenix. All over the capital cities. How many motherfucking times? The crowds. What about the parents? I can't! And then he says to me, after all those dragons, all those crawlies, those gross. My guy's on a shula. Kind of fucked up behavior. They speak about backward behavior. Shit, even in Afghanistan, they would have had more common sense than that shit. Who gives a shit what we lose in the Aussie? Timing, huh? Oddio mio. Due vertigiani, madonna santo, porca vacca. Anyway, that's it. So, right now, it's your problem. But, like, seriously. But now. You have the Scotland film. You have Radio Globo, if you missed the sidekick for the Scotland film. You have the Radio Globo with Daniela and Bruno Benvenuti, and that's it, in high school. Keep your filth bags with federal prison in San Quentin, might get Jodie Foster. You see, this is it. You didn't even fucking get to high school. I didn't have the best grades in high school, but it was a free education, and by 15 I was in college. With arms wide open, the corporations. Free college. With the corporations. Big heads and white hairs. Same in the basements in the UN. And everywhere else. Or West Blue Bars. This is old news on the news. Become famous for your feats. And not for a smashed in head on the coastlines US. And blame me for that. And, it's empty. I'm patriot. You're not patriot. Considering that you can see it coming from fucking China on the coastlines. The pretenses. And that's not even mentioning Fresno for the parents or retirements. So quite frankly, get it out. But now, what am I supposed to do? The Roman Bazaar. Good. We have chances, we have opportunities. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. And that's it. Basta, ci faccio ripetere la stessa cosa un milione di scusa.